Today we're going to give out 5 awards to Cleveland Cavaliers for their performances over the past week. These awards will have silly, stupid names, and that's going to make sense in, I don't know, like 10 seconds when we start. The first award that we're going to give away is the I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul award for Play of the Week. How about Evan Mobley blocking Kawhi with his offhand and then coming down within the same sequence and catching a wayward lob from Donovan Mitchell and guiding it in with the same offhand. This is the type of play that he's capable of when he's not thinking. He's just reacting. And that's kind of a rare place for him to be, it seems, at the beginning of this season. It seems like he's kind of overthinking a lot on the offensive end of the floor. When he's just reacting, he's kind of superhuman. He's been playing throughout the start of the year like a guy who, and I've said this before on other places, he's playing like a guy who has heard all summer long that the Cavs can't get to where they want to go unless he's the best player on the team. Plays and sequences like this is the kind of shit that makes it feel like that's actually possible. But I would still argue that it doesn't have to be done the same way every time. Like, you can develop Mobley's offensive game while getting him the ball within an action and still letting him create from there instead of just throwing the ball to him on the wing and saying, go cook. But that is not the point of this particular part of the conversation. The point of this particular part of the conversation is about saying what a hell of a play he made within the same sequence. He made 2 ridiculous plays on their own, and he did it together. Just insane. The next award we're going to do is the With No Regard for Human Life Performance of the Week. And this is going to be Donovan Mitchell against the Clippers. 37 points in 33 minutes, where the Cavs outscored the Clippers by 26 in those 33 minutes. It's one of those games where you're reminded that while he's not going to be in those MVP conversations with guys like Nikola Jokic, with guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with guys like Luka, because the counting stats just aren't going to keep up with those dudes who are kind of the modern day version of what heliocentric basketball was, whatever that was. That craze was like 7 years ago, I guess. Getting old. This is very gray. If you're watching, it's very gray. He had 5 threes in this game. He moved up to 5th all time on the Cavs 3-point shooting list. He also rounded it out with 8 rebounds and 6 assists. And that's the kind of thing that, again, for him, 37, 8, and 6 is a very well-rounded box score. And that's why he doesn't get to be in those conversations. But when you're talking about impact on a team, when you're talking about the ability to just take orange ball, put it in orange hoop, when you're talking about like elevating a franchise, like, he's still on that short list, that upper tier of what he's been able to do for Cleveland since getting there just like 3 short years ago. And this is the time for him to get. Do the kids still say flowers? I feel like they don't. That's probably not a thing anymore. Whatever you're supposed to get, that's what he should get. And it's also proof that this wasn't one of those tunnel vision games. We've seen those too, right? Those everybody stand around and watch Spida cook. That's not what this was. It was just a fantastic all-around game and a really strong win for the team. It was one of the best looking flows that they've been in offensively since the season started, and it all, centers around him. Or not, that's actually a really dumb phrase. It all centers around him. No, he should be at the center and everything should be revolving around him. Wasn't that the point of heliocentric back in the day anyways? I am Vastly off topic. Okay, next award. It's time to exercise these demons. These motherfuckers are doing jumping jacks now for game of the week with the win over the Indiana Pacers. We can't really call it a revenge game because with Tyrese Halliburton sitting on the sidelines in street clothes, they've been terrible to start the season record-wise anyways. But it definitely did feel like the Cavs were exercising some demons from the playoffs, particularly Darius Garland. Um, he I remember for whatever reason, I remember him hitting a like a sidestep three over Andrew Nemhart, and he did his normal 3-point celebration, where he like does makes the with his hand and he kisses it, and he usually is, doing it up to the crowd and like, oh, check this out. He did that shit right in the direction of Andrew Nemhart, and it just looked on his face like I can't stand that mother right there. I don't like that guy. And it just felt like he was getting something out because, especially for him, because so much of that series going the wrong way for Cavs fans really has kind of landed on that toe of his and him just not being mobile at all when he was available to play against them. And it had to feel good, at least in the moment, to let a little bit of that out and just feel a little bit of vindication, even though the stage is completely different. The success of the team on the other side completely different, but still like 5% satisfying, right? Next award we're going to do is the Get 'em little elbow throwing wannabe Jokic looking motherfucker. Get 'em laugh of the week. And this is Jarrett Allen, the poster that should have been over Alper and Şengün. And the reason that this is so laughable is that not only in the moment did you laugh out loud when you saw it happen, when you saw him just cock back and yam that thing on Alper and Şengün's head, who's become just one of the favorites for Cavs fans to watch play basketball for all the right reasons. Seeing his face in the slow-mo replays as he's flopping and flailing about. But the reason that it's particularly laughable is that in a league, when an offensive player can lower the shoulder and just use their elbow, push off, just truck guys into the first row to create their own space, they're allowed to take 6 steps and everybody calls it a gather online because nobody knows what a travel means anymore. They can carry the ball on literally every possession. I heard the argument one time. Well, I didn't hear it. I read it because that's how the internet works when you're reading comment sections because you hate humanity or yourself, perhaps. Somebody said that on this play that went around, this highlight that went around of Giannis just taking like 18 steps down the lane, somebody was like, no, it still counts as a gather. He's allowed to take as many steps as he wants while he's still dribbling, and he's still dribbling because the ball is spinning in his palm. If the ball is spinning in your palm, you're palming the basketball. That's a carry. But that's just not how it works in 2026. But that's totally fine. All of that, totally fine. But Jarrett Allen using his arm to shield himself from a defender while absolutely posterizing the shit out of him while he's flopping and also being a grifter. Just his whole existence of Alper and Şengün, that's an offensive foul. Laughable. Laughable. Laughable place to be in the NBA. The final award that we're going to do today is the Welcome Back, Welcome Back, Welcome Back Cav of the week, and that is Darius Garland, Darius Garland comes back into the lineup and makes everything for the Cavs look like it makes sense. And that's why we're going to spend some more time on him today. And we're going to get into some numbers here in just a little bit. But